All right, I got you.
What would you do? Leave her there to get
Dolores,
her head cut off?
we really haven't heard enough from you about...
Enough for me.
What would you have done, Geraldo, if it was you, a friend of yours?
Who knows? And you think I believe your account of why you went to rescue the damsel in distress?
You said it on your own show.
All right. Did he use your gun? Is that what I heard? TJ used your gun? Was it your 22?
It was given to me to give to Randy Starr.
Oh, right.
The same gun shot Stephen Parent 4 times and Wojtek Frykowski.
Yeah.
The same gun.
Yeah,
TJ, where were you on the night of August 9th, 1969?
I was at a hot springs by Death Valley.
Any witnesses?
Sure.
Do you have alibi witnesses?
Sure.
Does he need that?
I
Is
don't
anybody
need that.
accusing him about anything?
All right.
Are you accusing him of something?
Oh, John, would I accuse any of you
No,
fellas?
would you?
I've got to take a break. Not me.
Come on.
Don't like or dislike nothing. I see everything as it is. Your courtrooms have convicted me for being Jesus Christ in one courtroom.
Well,
And then in the other courtroom, you convicted me for being the devil. Now, if you believe in your own courtrooms, you convicted me for being the father of this country.
I want to go to Dolores now, who knew Charlie when. Did you call him Charlie?
No, always Charles. He was a churchgoer, came from a very religious family. He lived with his aunt and uncle and grandmother that took us to church every Sunday.
Did you know his mom? Did she ever come visit?
I met her a few times, a couple of times.
Did Charlie or Charles, as you knew him, ever tell you about his mom?
No, no.
Is it not true, the story I've heard, Bill, or you tell me, wasn't his mom a prostitute? Wasn't he the product of a John? I mean, that's the way I heard it.
Well, the rumor has been that his mother was a prostitute, and Charlie has spoken himself that he was the recipient of a prostitute.
Well, he was talking to someone like you because usually
What does that mean, someone like me?
Why do you ask him for the facts about someone that he doesn't, he's never even met?
You're prejudiced and you're single-minded.
Thank you. I wanted very badly to have these people on the show and worked very hard, as you know, to do that, because when I first met Carol, and I looked up all these Manson followers, and I've been to the Barker Ranch, the Spahn Ranch, Myers Ranch. I've been to the Tate House. A week ago, I went through the Tate House, the scene of the murders. Been through the La Bianca house. My point is, when I met Carol, she explained to me, tell me if I'm wrong, that on August 16th, when they raided the... Thank you, Carol. They raided the Spahn Ranch on August 16th, okay? Carol told me that they took fingerprints on August 16th and placed it back at the crime scene of Susan Atkins and Tex Watson. How you did that when the crime was August 8th and 9th and took fingerprints on the 16th is beyond me, but she believes it.
Wait,
and
I
you
don't
also
understand.
believe
I don't
it's a
understand.
police conspiracy.
They took the fingerprints
from Spahn Ranch on August 16th,
right,
and somehow mysteriously transported that back to appear
I see.
on August 9th.
She's saying that it was all rigged up.
Can I answer it?
I'd love to hear
They
it.
had to manufacture evidence.
After the fact?
They didn't have any evidence. I was told by one of the arresting officers that they had no evidence against Charlie or any of those people. They knew they were innocent when they arrested him, but they couldn't stop the
Just tell me how they lifted a fingerprint a week later and put it at the scene of the crime the week before.
Can I answer you?
I hope
You aren't
so.
even thinking, because...
Does the audience understand how you can take a fingerprint on the 16th and put it... Stupidity?
Yes, because you're saying... After they said there's like 8 points
around to make it sound stupid when
that are alive.
I want to go, Deborah. All right, you guys can talk about that when you're back in the park or something. Susan doesn't in any way say she's innocent now. What she's trying to do is to get some of the convictions overthrown. Is that it?
No, Susan simply is doing her time. She simply accepts the fact that she was a participant in these murders, and as a result of that, this is her punishment. She accepts her punishment. She apparently keeps out of the news, although I had a National Enquirer shoved in my face this morning.
Oh, yes, the National Enquirer says that she's trying to get pregnant with her second husband.
I know. I saw that
a man that she met in...
Susan does not
been writing to her.
Yeah, well, Susan does not go after any media attention at all. So I sort of question.
But she married Donald Lazer.
And I anticipate, and it was a big mistake on her part as well. And she admits that. She said within just a few months she found out what this man was all about, and that was the end of that.
Do you know that Donald claims that Susan stabbed him during a conjugal visit?
Oh yes, Susan and I had a little chat about that one, and she said the guy's a nut. She said that.
Susan Atkins said the guy's a nut.
Yeah, absolutely. She said, you know, it's patently absurd. First of all, apparently, according to Mr. Lazer's statement, was that they had a 6.5-day honeymoon over the administrative building, which is absurd because there isn't any place over the administrative building at CIW.
Well, he has been married 42 times.
Yeah, I mean, come on, let's take a look at his credibility.
I've got to take a break. I come back to Deborah and the others in a second. Okay.
For free tickets to the Geraldo Show, write Geraldo Tickets, 524 West 57th Street, New York, New York, 10019. Please send a self-addressed stamped envelope or call 212-265-1283.
We want to hear your comments and show ideas. Give us a call at 1-900-SPEAK-UP. Let us know what you're thinking. We'll record your message to play in a future broadcast. We may even call you to be a guest on a show. So call 1-900-SPEAK-UP. Don't forget, the call costs $1. We'll be right back.
Trouble, violent, no good, so-and-so, and run. When actually, in reality, I'm a deadhead, man. I've been dead since 1951.
That's an interesting point. Dead since 1951, he says. How does he head up Atwa from behind bars?
Conscious of it, that's all. You don't head up anything. He's just saying that that's what needs to be done for yourself.
And how many members does Atwa claim?
All the people in the universe. The whole
everything. Anybody who's into
We're all
recycling.
members of Charles Manson's religion, Leslie.
Do you recycle, Geraldo?
Yes, I do.
Okay, there you go.
Anson and you, Carol, I'd like to know what you girls do for a living.
I'm a housewife.
Carol?
And I have children.
So you have kids? Are you married now?
Yes.
Does your husband approve of your
I don't want to
affection
talk
for
about that.
Okay.
That's
That's
very
fair.
irrelevant.
Now, I have a question for all four of you. You say that you don't think Charles had any influence on the murders?
No, he didn't.
That he didn't have any influence on the murders that took
Only
place?
as a person alive on Earth that's thinking
But then
it went
what
through
is,
his
in your
head.
opinion, what was the motive for these murders that took place if they weren't influenced by something?
What would our opinion
That's a good
have?
question. What were the motives?
I don't have an
A
opinion
cover
on
up
it.
for the
I don't
Vietnam
need it.
War. Someone in the system.
Wait, hold it. Carol has an answer.
Yeah. Does it cover up for the Vietnam
Quiet,
War?
gentlemen. Let her finish. Go ahead, Carol. I'm sorry, we didn't hear it.
People within the system that are prone that way. They have guns. They carry guns. In that day and age, people didn't carry guns all the time.
What are you saying? What was the motive, though? I still don't.
I'm saying that the people that are inclined that way, not a bunch of hippies running a horse ranch.
Okay, I'd like to ask the friends of Mr. Manson, what was the reasoning, or what was his feelings while these murders were being committed? I know he's supposed to be guilty of conspiracy, but I mean, was he trying to return these people to the air, the trees, the water, and the earth? Or what? Come on.
John.
Give the gentleman Charlie's address and let him ask the question where it belongs.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
He wants to know what the reason was that Charlie did what he did. Well, Charlie didn't do what he says he did, but if he wants to ask that question, he ought to ask it to Charlie, I guess.
Charlie gets a lot of fan mail, doesn't he?
He gets a lot of mail. I don't know if you call it fan mail.
Each day.
How many letters?
I don't know.
10 pounds a day, 75 media interview requests a week.
And he turns them all down.
Wow.
In fact, he said he didn't have anything he wanted Geraldo to touch.
He didn't have anything he wanted Geraldo to touch.
I have more a comment than a question. And my comment is that you sit here and you talk about how judgmental we all are. How would you expect us to feel about a man who we saw a clip of before, who when Geraldo interviewed him made a comment that he cuts people because he can?
If someone
that is not something you would ever say, nor anything
talking about something that you don't want to open your mind to the picture.
Somebody who has a lot of hate in his heart, and that hate is not in my heart. We have a lot more love in our hearts than you do in yours.
On that nice note, we'll take a break.
They're here, American.
For transcripts, please